Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting comedian and star of the hit TV show Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell, August 10th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Always thought that guy's name was Mike. Hello, fans out there enjoying themselves here in the pen. Brad Adam, Dave Valley with you. And Val, the Yankees are out of town. It's always a spectacle when the Yankees are in town. Even more so, obviously, this last series with Ichiro being traded to New York. So they're gone, and now this young team that is now the Mariners can focus on, I guess, just baseball, right? The last 7 games of this homestand, get rid of all that stuff on the periphery, and now it's just baseball.
Well, I think for a lot of the young guys with the New York Yankees in town, the big trade, there was so much energy here at the ballpark, but it really wasn't energy focused on playing the game. It was about the media trying to figure out how Ichiro was going to, mesh with the New York Yankee clubhouse. Guys are having to answer questions about Ichiro, but that day is over. Ichiro's gone. The page has been turned. Yep. There's a new chapter in the history of the Seattle Mariners starting today. And the Mariners are very fortunate, I think, to have both the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays here in town, 2 teams that are under 500. So as you talk about just getting back to playing baseball, you probably couldn't pick 2 better teams for the Mariners to start to really start this new era of baseball here at Safeco Field.
And find out kind of who they are, what kind of team they will be these last 62 games of the season. We get you set, of course, for Game 1. We'll find out in a matter of minutes. Brandon League signing some autographs out there in the pen. First pitch coming up, lineups on the way. Royals and Mariners on Root Sports.
The great Nat King Cole was still with us, he would sing about those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Welcome, everybody, to Seattle, Washington. You're looking at Safeco Field, where tonight the Mariners open up a series against the Kansas City Royals. Glad you're with us for some big league baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and a Root Sports crew. Good-looking night here as we get ready to see Jason Vargas pitch against Luis Mendoza. Let's take a look at the Kansas City batting order that will face Vargas, who's hot 3-0 in the month of July.
Good young lineup for the Royals. Alex Gordon leading things off. You can see what he did in the last series against the Mariners, hitting .563 with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs. Some exciting players, Lorenzo Cain and Salvador Perez, both in the lineup coming off the DL when we were in Kansas City. Then it's Eric Hosmer, big-time rookie last year. A little bit of a disappointment this year, hitting .232. And then Yuniesky Betancourt rounding out the 9 for the Royals. Jason Vargas on the year, 10-game winner, 3.91 ERA. He has really pitched well over the last 3 outings. He has been the Mariners' stopper this year, 9-2 after a Mariners loss. So they're going to lean on the left arm of Jason Vargas tonight.
Strike one call to Alex Gordon. Bright young player. Having a really good campaign. 74 degrees here in Seattle. Home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth. Doug Eddings at first. Jordan Baker at second and Lance Barrett at third. Gordon, the American League doubles leader with 33, 10th in walks, 4th in hits, and tied for 4th with Billy Butler with 36 multi-hit games. I told you last week in Kansas City, it's a good hitting ball club, 3rd in the American League, 3rd in hits, 3rd in batting average, 3rd in hits, and 2nd in doubles.
Like the Mariners, they are a young club. Their struggles have been on the pitching side of things this year for the Royals. That's where their struggles have been, but they can hit. Alex Gordon hitting .297 this year, Gold Glove winner last year. Moved him from third out to left field and won a Gold Glove right away.
Line drive, soft one, out to Ackley for out number 1.
Take a look at the defense for the Mariners. In tonight's game, in the outfield, Casper Wells is in left field, Saunders in center, Carlos Figueroa, the right fielder, and on the infield, nothing new there. Kyle Seager at third, Ryan and Ackley playing up the middle. Mike Carp going to get a lot of time over at first base with Smoke out, and then Miguel Olivo will do the catching tonight.
Mariners coming off losing 2 of 3 to the Yankees. So looking at Alcides Escobar, bright young shortstop. .305 batting average with 4 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Strike 2. And we saw Kansas City last time. Escobar was among the top 10 hitters in the American League. He's bubbling just outside the top 10 right now. Carp might have room. He does.
Good play. Take a look at our McDonald's Supermo as Carp, concentration on catching the ball. He's getting over there where there's that little short part of the fence right about knee high. He's able to stop himself just in time before going into the stands. Good play.
There's Lorenzo Cain, center fielder. We saw him cover some ground last week in Kansas City.
Cain has been on the DL. Only 59 at-bats on the season for him. He really looks like an exciting young player. Dave mentioned playing center field, cover a lot of ground. He's hitting for an average here of .305. He's the reason why the Royals felt like they could let Melky Cabrera go, who's having an outstanding season with the Giants. They like this young man.
Vargas trying to pound it. The inside portion of play, 2-1. Cain 1 for 3 against Jason. Kansas City comes in having lost 7 of 10. Most recently in Anaheim, they lost 2 out of 3 there. Then at home, they'd lost 2 out of 3 to Minnesota and 3 of 4 to the Mariners. Billy Butler is on deck. Big swing and miss.
Good changeup from Jason in a 3-1 count. See the location of that pitch right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Vargas as he goes through Kansas City. 1-2-3. Down the first. Good start for the Mariners here in Seattle at Safeco Field. Mariners coming to bat. Manager Eric Wedge is supremely confident that Dustin Ackley is going to get things going. He's working on an 0 for 20 right now, trying to break it. Maybe tonight will be the night as we take a look at the rest of the Mariner lineup.
Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Chevron. Michael Saunders, good series in Kansas City, hitting .313 with a home run and 3 RBIs. John Jaso, the DH tonight, he will hit cleanup. Carlos Figueroa out in right field, waiting for him to get things going. And then it's Brendan Ryan rounding out the 9.
First pitch from Luis Mendoza is off the plate for ball 1. Mendoza, a big guy at 6'3", 245. He was the AAA pitcher of the year in the system last year. And there's Ackley turning on one, breaking an 0 for 20 base hit.
Good start for the Mariners and Dustin Ackley. Sure, he's been feeling some pressure lately with his struggles, but this is a solid base hit into right field, being aggressive early in the count. Like that. Take a look at the defense for the Royals. We talked about Alex Gordon, his Gold Glove last year. Then it's Kane in center field, Frank Core out in right. And on the infield, Moustakas at third baseman, Escobar and Betancourt. Betancourt at second base, Eric Hosmer the first baseman, and Salvador Perez will do the catching.
One foul over the screen. Talking to Eric Wedge before the game about Ackley. So look at Mendoza's numbers. Young man out of Mexico City, Mexico. Year and 60 days service. Eric Wedge talking about Ackley, says he swung the bat well. He's just missing. Want him to hang in there mentally. He's had hit into a lot of tough luck. And for a young man, he's pretty consistent with his actions. Look at the barrel to that pitch. Base hit. Looking bat looper to the shortstop. Escobar, 1 out.
Well, I heard Eric's comments, and he was talking about Dustin. I believe it was 2 games ago. It might have been 3, where he felt like 3 out of the 4 at bats were quality at bats. And he'd missed a couple of pitches and had flown out to the warning track. And that's something that he and Chris Chambliss and the rest of the coaches, as they're looking at these young men, it can't always be about that they get 2 hits tonight. It's their approach and how they're going and what they're going to do. We just saw Justin Smoke getting sent out. Hopefully Justin will get things figured out and get back here soon. But for Ackley, they just felt like he's on the right track, and they're going to see those hits coming because of what they saw a couple of days ago.
Hitter's Casper Wells looks to strike.
I think, the biggest thing with these young players that they have is just continuously you have to stay with them and keep their confidence up. And Eric has certainly done that in the media, I think, for them. So they have to feel good about that. He's trying to take as much pressure off of them as he can. But when you're going through it for the first time, it's tough.
Pitch to Wells inside. I'll say this. Going to talk to Wedge every day, a couple times a day, catching. He is relentlessly positive.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And, I get a chance to talk to him away from everybody else because he has to do his normal media thing, but that's exactly the way he feels. He really has no choice in the matter. It's something that he believes in and he feels like it. And that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be more changes at times, but I think he feels that he's going to get this thing turned around.
He relies a lot on the fact that he's been through it before building the Cleveland Ball Club.
Great point.
After Hargrove had him going really good, then they fell down, and then they picked him up with Wedge as he helped grow the Hafners and those that crew.
I think with all that being said, you have the Royals in town. You had success winning 3 out of 4 in Kansas City. I think what he'd like to see these guys do is to have similar success in this series, a club that has struggled at times this year, and they've already had that success. So confidence shouldn't be a problem playing the Royals.
12th in ERA are the Royals. A little dribbler. Charging. Moustakas. And Wells claps his hands. He beats it out. Base hit.
Moustakas is a good player, but he was playing back with Wells up there. And so this is pretty much a swinging bunt. You come in barehanded on a McDonald's Supermo. It's a great shot and gets rid of it quickly. As soon as his right foot hits the ground, he'll throw it. Wasn't able to get much on the throw, so Casper Wells beats it out for an infield hit.
One of the things I thought was interesting in the pregame conversations today, some early batting practice with the pitching machine set to right-handed curveballs. Curveballs, as we've talked about on a daily basis, curveballs, changeups have been the kryptonite to this young Mariner ball club.
Yeah, and I think that some of it's not that they can't hit a curveball, but sometimes you have to get off of the fastball, Dave, and look for the curveball.
Jaso to right field. Francoeur took a step back, coming on, can't get it.
They're going to catch a break. Look at that.
They get the force on Wells at second. So a fielder's choice for Jaso. Wells retired 9-6.
You can see him come in, fakes like he's going to catch it. There's nowhere that Casper can go as he throws him out.
He did it again. Because remember talking to him last week in Kansas City.
When he threw Saunders out at third.
He dicked him at second, made him go, and threw him out. Francoeur, American League leader, 12 assists now. Runners at the corners. Here's your guy, Mr. Was it the old Leonard Skinner Saturday night special? Here's Mr. 2-out special.
Kyle with 60 RBIs, leads the club by a good margin with 60 RBIs, and 34 of them coming with 2 outs this year. Those are the tough ones to pick up, but Kyle has been consistent hitting in these situations.
It's one of those categories when you sit down, negotiate or renegotiate, make sure your agent gets that very high on the list. It did hit him. It did hit him. Bases are loaded. Now you tell your guy, hey man, do you see my 2-out RBIs? Make sure that's number 1 or 2 on the list.
Right. As you see this pitch come in, it just catches his jersey, load the bases up for Mike Karp. Yeah, and I think for Kyle, look, he's been struggling himself lately. His average has gone down. But I think that he's shown that even in those times, he finds a way to grind out a decent at bat in these situations and pick those RBIs up. And that's something that you can always fall back on. And then eventually he's going to get hot again.
His next 4 men on the Mariner batting order are hitting below the Mendoza line. All anxious to pick it up. Karp at $146.
Aggressive. It's already 2 outs. They have the bases loaded. Mendoza's only thrown 12 pitches.
How far can he hit one here? 2-0, bases loaded.
It's a warm night. Ball will stay in the air for a while if you square it up.
Two and one. Bases filled with Mariners, 2 outs. Mariners have made a good habit of scoring early the last week or so. Trying to cash in again, 2-1. Up the middle, that'll get one. Here comes Ackley. Right behind him, Jaso. 2-0 Mariners. Mike Karp comes through. And the Mariners an early lead again.
Inside out swing from Karp, pitches inside. You can see him pull his hands close to his body, trying to get the barrel to it. Looked like it jammed him just a little bit as he slices the ball back up the middle to pick up a couple of RBIs. Take a look at this swing as he pulls his hands. He knows he's beat on the fastball, so he's trying to keep him close to his body. That's not the extension that you normally see from Mike Karp, but he's just trying to barrel it up. Good start for the Mariners.
Fine result. Karp picking up RBIs 14 and 15. Olivo's got runners at first and second, the ex-Kansas City Royal. So the pitch up high for ball 1. Miguel at 198, 7 homers and 18 runs batted in. 7th man to the plate. To left field. Coming on Gordon, shortstop Escobar, and now Gordon takes charge. Mariners pick up 2. Karp with a 2-run single for the 2-0 Mariners early lead. They loaded him up in the first inning. Carpenter, a 2-1 pitch. Got one to get into center field. The Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Hey, Regal Showdown is taking center stage right here at Safeco Field on Sunday. King Felix and the Mariners take on these Kansas City Royals at 110. For $30, you're going to sit in the King's Court, get the T-shirt and the K-card. You can cheer on the Mariners ace. We'll be looking to joust with the Royals. So pick up your tickets. The King's Court, Mariners.com/Felix.
For the Royals, Billy Butler is going to lead things off. Probably the most dangerous hitter in the Royals lineup. 296 average, has 20 home runs on the year.
One game that Kansas City won when the Mariners were in the great state of Missouri was a walk-off home run by Mr. Butler.
And you can see what he's done against the Mariners this year. 333 average with a couple of home runs.
What's a strike? Butler with a home run in the ninth. Wednesday, July 18th, 8-7 Kansas City victory. Led it off, got a 1-1 pitch. If Alex Rodriguez was a 4-iron, what was Billy's? Because that was hit pretty well.
I think a few home runs.
Whoa. Down the line, hooking foul.
A few home runs that we have seen him hit they've had to have been a couple of the longest home runs we've seen. He's hit a couple in spring training too. Their spring training complex down the street from the Mariners. Take a look at our McDonald's Supermo. Catches that on the barrel, just out in front of it a little bit, and hooked it down the line.
I remember my first year in 07 doing a game over there. And surprise, as Seager gobbles it up, throws over the cart. He hit one way up on the cart. I remember St. Leos went crazy when the ball got crushed, like the one he hit up their Hall of Fame last week. Billy winner of the Hutch Award here in Seattle earlier this year. There's Mike Moustakas, the third baseman, will stand in.
A little bit of a coming out party for Moustakas this year. You can see right around 270 with 16 home runs on the season. From what we've seen, good defensive third baseman.
0-1 to Mike. Doesn't walk a lot. He had a walk, 2 walks Sunday against Minnesota. His first walk in a 20-game stretch.
Well, you look at the Royals overall, they're last in walks in the American League. We were talking about them hitting third and hitting. He pulls this ball foul. They're an aggressive bunch, and we saw that in Kansas City. They're not going to wait around. They want to swing the bats. There's Kevin Seitzer, good hitter in the big leagues. He's their hitting coach. He has these guys going up there looking for a pitch to hit early in counts and trying to do something with it.
Two-one from Vargas. That is a fair ball smothered by Carp. Vargas covers. Well done. 2 down.
Mike Carp off to a good start. Has the base hit to drive in a couple of runs and comes right back and makes a good defensive play for Jason Vargas. Ball goes right over the bag. Carp diving effort. Jason always getting off the mound in good shape. Good fielding pitcher, Jason Vargas.
Vargas does a good job covering. Felix is an outstanding athlete covering his position.
I wonder if he's okay. Oliva went back out to the mound and he was slow walking back to the mound. Oliva walking straight back. Typically if there was an issue, Oliva would look to the dugout, but he didn't do that.
Miguel's been around a long time. He knows when his guys are off a little bit. Salvador Perez, the catcher.
He homered against the Mariners in Kansas City.
Strokes this one to left field. Wells outran it. Mariners continue to shine defensively. 10 pitches that inning for Vargas, who has a 2-0 lead.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Welcome back, everybody. Mariners have a 2-0 lead thanks to Mike Carp. A 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning. Here in the home second, Peguero, Ryan, and Ackley. Ball one from Luis Mendoza.
Peguero off to a slow start, hitting just 161, but 31 at bats for him.
It's that pitch you were talking about yesterday.
Above the belt. It's pretty typical, too, I think, if you see a guy that is a bigger man with some power like Peguero has. They're going to find out and see if he can catch up to the pitches up there. He has to get him down in the zone.
Take a little off of that one. Mendoza, 28 years old, and his birthday is on Halloween. Peguero went chasing. And he's thrown out by Salvador Perez. One down. Here's Jed Mueller.
Well, guys, we have been talking about Randy Johnson and Dan Wilson going into the Mariners Hall of Fame this weekend. But how about another name who's already in there, Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis? It was announced today that the Mariners have added him to their development staff. He is now a roving minor league instructor. Of course, Alvin was part of the Mariners from 1984 to 1991. He was the first Mariner inducted to the Hall of Fame. He's throwing out the first pitch tomorrow, and we will get a chance to talk to him. Dave?
All right. One of the great gentlemen in baseball, Alvin Davis. Was it last year, a couple of years ago, he's up here with his mom.
Yeah.
Brought the first pitch. That was great. His mom, I think, was up in mid to upper 70s. Didn't look a day over about 60.
No, she looked great. Where's Alvin living? He's in Southern California, isn't he?
Yeah. 0-2 to Ryan. Staying alive. Mendoza's last 4 starts, 2-2. 2.93 ERA. Got off to a lousy start. 1-3 with a 5.18 first 8 starts. Gordon has a beat on it. 2 outs. They got good coverage out there. Gordon, Kane, and Frank Gore.
And at times they can add Dyson to the mix, and they'll typically move Kane to left or right when Dyson is in.
Great
center.
Mariner fans. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The Felix numbers on. Yeah, Dyson, he adds another element of speed. That one game in Kansas City had Kane and Dyson. Ackley barrels up again. This one to the gap. Gordon can't get it. Extra bases. 2 for 2 for Dustin Ackley. You know, his skipper and the hitting coach feeling good. He's living up to the faith that they've shown in young man who is a number 2 pick out of North Carolina.
Being aggressive tonight, Ackley hits this ball hard to left center field. This is what the Mariners were hoping to see a lot of this year, but this ball in the gap. Easy double for Dustin. It's amazing, Dave, when you're going through these struggles and you get a base hit your first time up, the amount of pressure that takes off of you just so that you can relax and go about your business. And he's off to a good start here in this game. 2 hits in the first 2 innings.
14th double for Ackley. Here's Saunders. A broken bat pop up to short his first time up. Mariners lose yesterday 5-2 to the Yankees. They got 2 runs in the first inning and then went hitless until 2 outs in the 9th. Big blow, Lance Nixon, bases loaded, double. Saunders to center field. Kane going back, running out of room, but he's right there to make the catch. Didn't get quite all of it. 2-0 Mariners. first of a weekend set here against Kansas City. Mariners calendar being brought to you by Sleep Country USA. 4 games with these Royals. Blue Jays come in for their only visit. Then on the road again. The road trip starting in New York, going to Baltimore, and then Anaheim. Francoeur, Hosmer, and Betancourt against Jason Vargas. Since July 7th, Mr. Vargas has an ERA of 1.71, 8th lowest in the major leagues. There's a strike, 1-1.
And Jason almost always has the good changeup that he takes out to the mound with him. But you talk about that stretch, I think it's been his fastball command that has been the difference. He's been able to pitch to both sides of the plate, elevate the fastball at times when he needs to. He's been in command of that pitch, which has made his changeup even better.
2-1.
Like that.
Very effective pitch by Vargas. Francoeur, the former Brave and New York Met. Fastball beating. Strikeout. Number 2 for Vargas. There's 1 down here in the 3rd. He's retired first 7 men that he's faced.
And that's exactly what we've been seeing from Jason. Throws the changeup to get the swing and the miss, and he's able to come back on the inside corner and paint a fastball. It's only 89 miles an hour, but as a hitter, when you have that changeup in the back of your mind, he can get inside on these right-handed hitters and do it effectively.
There's Hosmer batting in the 8 hole. We saw him descend down the order during our time in Kansas City.
Really a good-looking rookie last year. Did a lot of things well for the Royals, but this year has been a struggle for him, hitting .232 with 9 home runs.
Inside. Hosmer in the series in Kansas City batted in the 3 hole for the first 3 games, and this was after Ned Yost.
Vote of confidence.
A huge vote of confidence, and they dropped him down to the 6 hole, and here he is batting 8th.
Yeah, well, I think he came out and said that he was going to leave him hitting 3rd because that's where he was going to be in his career for the Royals.
Next day. Boom, 6 hole.
And it's typical of what you hear him talking about. He was talking about taking the pressure off of him.
Hosmer came up last year, just lit it up.
Right away. Came up, had a lot of success early, and it continued throughout the year last year.
Played in 128 games, 293, 19 homers and 78 RBIs. As they do with so many people, they find your vulnerabilities. That gets around in a heartbeat. Scouts, video.
Fans hear us talking about the Mariner hitters having to make adjustments, and that's where Hosmer is, and he will.
Swing and a miss. Vargas back-to-back strikeouts. 3 for the ball game, 8 up, 8 down.
Take a look at this last pitch. It looks like a cut fastball in the outside corner, 85 miles an hour. Again, well located outside corner right at the knees.
2 outs, nobody on. Former Mariner Yuniesky Betancourt steps in, second baseman tonight. Did not play in the series at KC.
Betancourt now, he's one of the veterans on their club.
Yep.
Mariners saw him break in here, have some early success and then some struggles, and now he's a veteran with the Royals.
30 years old, second tour of duty with Kansas City. Last year with Milwaukee hit .252. Just strike 1-1. 13 homers and 68 RBI. He was a free agent signee back in December. Seager stays down, makes the routine play, throws him out. A clean first time through the order for Jason Vargas. 9 up, 9 down in this 2-0 Mariner lead. out single in the first inning. There's a future Mariner. Beautiful. Gasper Wells leads off. Wells, Jaso, and Seager here in the third inning against Luis Mendoza. What a cutie.
Gasper had an infield base hit his first time up.
Kids and puppies and everybody. Oh, love it. Moustakas knocks it down. Good strong throw. One out. This play. Two legends, one game this Saturday. Mariner greats Randy Johnson and Dan Wilson. They're going to be inducted as the newest members of the Mariners Hall of Fame. Make sure you join a special pre-game ceremony. It's at 12:30. It includes Edgar Martinez, Alvin Davis, and more. Now, the first 20,000 fans, you're going to take home a dual bobblehead. These two honorees. Make sure you get your tickets right now. Mariners Hall of Fame Day at Mariners.com. John Jaso checks swing off the glove of the pitcher. Betancourt finishes it up. 1-4-3 for out number 2. Bring up Kyle Seager, who was hit by a pitch his first time up.
And Jaso tonight has made 2 outs. Swinging early in the count, first pitch swing. But on the season, that's worked for him.
Yeah.
Hitting .550. Swinging at the first pitch. Michael Saunders not too far behind him at .528. So the guys have been aggressive. Both of them with 2 best batting averages in the lineup tonight.
Really love that stat on the side of Saunders coming off of last year. What was it? One hit, first pitch. Escobar. Wow, what a play. His last couple of 3 steps, he made an incredible close to make that catch. Well done. Taking a base hit away from Seager. And the Mariners are retired 1-2-3 in the third. Park Golf Course, and right there you got the skate park. Tony Hawk was in town, and here's some kids. These aren't the pros. These are just some of the kids in the area who are good at this sport. And they're just having a high old time. This, of course, the home course where Freddie Couples made his name. Driving range over there to your left. But there are a bunch of park. I know that who was it? Bill Frieder, the former Michigan and Arizona State coach. He built with the Maloof brothers, who own the Sacramento Kings. They put one on the west side of Manhattan. A few crash and burns here. When I see guys do that, you know, when you're walking through a city, we're traveling all over the country, I can't help but think that, let me get out of here before I hear a splat. You know, if they miss.
Where are the elbow pads, the knee pads, and the helmets?
You're thinking like a dad, Mike. Come on.
I thought that first shot when they were down in that big bathtub, probably better to fill it up with water on a day like today. A couple of floating chairs. Beverage with an umbrella in it or something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
0-2 to Vargas pitching to Gordon. Vargas 9 up, 9 down. First trip through the order. 2 strikes to Gordon. And a soft line drive to Ackley to start the ball game.
First time through the lineup, the Royals were aggressive with Jason. We'll see if that changes. I think he was banking on that with Gordon. Gets ahead of him 0-2 and then missed with the last 2 pitches off the plate, trying to get Gordon to chase it.
2-2.
It's not like I just make these up on the spot. These aren't I wish I could make sense to
A little reload here. Gordon, Escobar, and Kane tap the order for Kansas City.
There you go. Harold Reynolds, he was just in town.
Right. Matter of fact,
Monday, right?
Right. The Yankees were in town right there during the whole each. Look out. Holy mackerel. Scattered the ball boy.
That'll wake you up.
Oh, man. Two pitch. Carp has it. Easy play. One out. Here's Jed Mueller.
Well, guys, not very many games going on around the major leagues tonight, but there is one in the AL East as Baltimore and Tampa come into tonight's game, both tied for second place. Bases loaded for former Mariner Adam Jones. He brings in a pair of runs with that single to left. Baltimore avoids the sweep. They win 6-2. It is our Sterling Banks score from around the league. Dave?
All right, Jed, thank you very much. Here the Mariners have a 2-0 lead, a 2-out first inning single, 2-run single by Mike Carp, the difference. Jason Vargas 10 up, 10 down. Big part of the story thus far. Kansas City's lost 7 of its last 10. Royals in 4th place, 11.5 back in the Central. Easy play, Seager. Throws out Escobar. Take a look at the high-speed pitch brought to you by CenturyLink. Mendoza at 94, Vargas at 90. Bring up Lorenzo Cain. There's Vargas' last 3 outings.
He has pitched well. Kansas City was able to get to him in the middle there. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. They shut down the A's, who have been playing well, and the Rays.
How about those A's? Start today, virtual tie with the Angels. Toronto got them though, 10-4 today.
They've surprised me, I'll tell you that.
Pitching's been good. Some of the Yankees were talking about the pitching or bullpen, as we know. Bullpen's been outstanding.
And you make a couple of the moves that turn out right for you with Reddick in the year that he's having. Cespedes hitting over 300 for him now.
Couple of make the 3 teams, and we talk about them all the time, and deservedly so. The Nationals, the A's, and the Pirates. How are they going to do as they get, you start to see the finish line in a tight pressure situation with some teams trying to get, to run you down. You got to try to maintain that lead.
One of 2 things I think will happen with the Pirates as Jason walks Kane.
There goes the perfect game. Walks him on a 3-1 pitch.
Either the inexperience that they have will catch up to them, as we saw last year. We were talking about the other day with the Pirates and that loss to Atlanta last year, and they just went into a tailspin from there. Or they're just young enough to where they don't know any different. They're just going to continue to play.
Yeah, right. 15,014 on hand here tonight. Got to be careful. Here's Billy Butler. Small one. Billy bends down to Seager's first time up.
This is probably as deep as I've seen the left side of the infield play to any right-handed hitter this year.
Yeah. Fastball away. Olivo going out. So one other interesting note, we were talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Huge part of their story. A guy named Burnett, first name AJ.
Yeah, how
first
about that?
12-3.
There you go. National League Central standings, Pittsburgh 2 games back of Cincinnati.
Milwaukee talking about Zach Greinke going to be available. Trading deadline right around the corner. 5 days. Outside to Butler, 3-0. Being very careful.
Well, 100%. He has the green light to swing away when they're down 2-0, and he is a 3-0 count. Jason's certainly aware of that as Moustakas waits on deck.
Vargas has given up more home runs than anybody in the big leagues. This one rifled into the gap. Kane has great speed. He's going to score easily. And Butler, an RBI double at a 2-1 ball game. Billy Butts his 15th double and RBI number 62.
Then you go to the whip coming around second.
20 home runs on the year. And a fastball at 89 miles an hour in the middle of the plate. Take a look at our McDonald's Supermo as Butler squares this one up into the gap.
I love the things you hear when guys come into there and said you had to go to the whip coming around second.
Lorenzo Kane, who can fly, giving the young man a little bit of grief.
Kane scores. Here's Moustakas. 2 outs and Butler at second base. Carp getting a lot of action tonight. He'll take it himself. But Kansas City gets on the board. A run on 2 hits. Leave 1. 2-1 ball game. We head to the home fourth. Hey, nice to be down at the market on a glorious day that we've had here the last few days here in Seattle. And there are tourists aplenty in town, fish flying all over. And I love how they use the speed up action here to give you an idea of the pulse of the city. Good
What
stuff.
did we get to? 80, 81 degrees today downtown?
Really good.
Yeah.
Great walk around weather. So a lot of folks enjoying the city. More of that to come. The weather forecast is pretty doggone good. There's Mike Carp. He muscled one through the middle, up the middle for a 2-run single. With the bases loaded back into first. That'll drop down. Frank Coor will get it back in. Sounded like he got that one off the middle of the bat too. They both count 2 for 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this was off the label. But you know what, Dave? You have to start somewhere. And so many times you'll see a hitter, they don't care what the hits look like. Mike right now 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs, feeling better about himself. And then you start to get the barrel to it, and good things happen.
You got Ackley with 2 ringing base hits. Carp's been jammed twice. They're both 2 for 2. Mariners sign up all Mariner fans for that kind of stuff. Keep it coming. Olivo fly to left. Tried to drop down a bunt.
Good idea. Moustakas was playing back.
Gordon deep and left, shading the line a little bit. Goes the other way. Francoeur can't make the play. Throw to second. Pulled off the bag is Escobar. If it's on the bag, Carp's probably a dead duck.
Oh, I think he's out. And Francoeur tried to do it again. You can see him raise his glove to try to freeze Mike Carp, and it worked again. No chance to catch this as Olivo fights it off into right field. And Francoeur coming in will raise his glove. Take a look at Carp running. He thinks it's a base hit, and then Francoeur right there, glove up. Whoops, that little stutter step, and it almost cost the Mariners. The throw was wide. You can see Francoeur thought he had another one.
1 assist tonight, gives him 12 in the season, leads the American League. Figueroa struck out on a 1-2 pitch. Pitched him belt up.
There's a couple of fastballs up in the zone, and then he went to the changeup and a breaking ball in the dirt that he swung through. And he comes back with the changeup. But you're right, Dave. That's been the pattern so far for Carlos, is trying to pitch him up in the zone.
First 2 men have reached here in the 4th.
Mendoza has been featuring on the year. 2-seam fastballs at 46%. Likes his slider. Although we've seen him throw a few more changeups today against the left-handers.
Fouls off that breaking ball. Figueroa with 1 home run on the season since being recalled. Back on a road trip down to Tampa Bay. Hit a 1-2 pitch.
Early in the game, Mariners are 1 for 4. We've been in scoring position. That 1 base hit was from Mike Carp in the first inning.
Left field, coming in is Gordon. 1 down, 2 on. Trivia question. Here we go. Brought to you by AT&T. Which of the following was not a Rule 5 draftee? Joe Carter, Roberto Clemente, Josh Hamilton, and Johan Santana. Which of the following was not a Rule 5 draftee? I do know that Roberto Clemente was being hidden by Branch Rickey in the Dodger system. I think that's how the Pirates got him.
I think you're right.
Louis Litke in the middle there is a Mariner Rule 5 pickup from Milwaukee. Let's see. That's Joe Carter, Clemente, Hamilton, and Santana.
I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm going with Hamilton too. He's a top draft choice that year, right? Number 1 or 2.
See if Brendan Ryan can clutch up for the Mariners, get a base hit.
Mendoza wants to speak to Perez.
Mendoza, 41 pitches so far in the game, working here in the 4th inning. 41 pitches, 30 strikes. He's been around the strike zone. The Mariners have been aggressive with him. 11 first pitch strikes out of the 18 batters he has faced.
0-1 to Ryan. To left field. It might get down. It does. Coming around to score is Carp. Brendan Ryan delivers. Unscoring single, and the Mariners have a 3-1 lead. Ryan's 25th RBI.
It looks like Brendan gets a breaking ball, maybe a changeup. That's a breaking ball off the end of the bat. Flips it down the left field line. Gordon thought maybe he had a diving try at this, but he decides to keep the ball in front of him. And it looked like he wouldn't have been able to get there. That'll be an RBI for Brendan. Good to see the Mariners answer right back after the Royals scored a run.
Ackley's hit the ball hard twice. Single to right, double to left center. It's nice not to have just to take the consolation of hitting it hard twice. He's got good results.
Yeah. All hitters hitting it hard or not, like Carp. We've talked about hitting it off the label a couple of times. Wow.
Got him. That's a perfect throw.
Yeah.
Perfect throw by Mendoza to pick off Olivo.
I think Escobar, the shortstop, puts this play on as he sneaks in behind Olivo. But it's the throw. It's right where Olivo's hand is. Anywhere else, and he'll be able to get back, but he gets caught getting too far off of second base.
That might be the best pick off at second I've ever seen. I mean, that throw was right where it had to be.
Quick spin, too.
Andrew riding with us on Josh Hamilton. He's not a Rule 5 draftee. Carter Clemente, Hamilton, or Santana. 2-0 to Ackley. And not surprisingly, Mendoza being very careful with Ackley. On deck is Michael Saunders. There's a strike. Ackley's aboard. That's a first walk issued by Mendoza. 2 outs and 2 on for the Mariners. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. The pen, as always, was crowded during batting practice and has remained so since then. Talking about batting practice, 4:34,
yeah,
45.
They were out there early today.
Saunders, the batter. In tight, ball 1.
Michael so far, a couple of flyouts.
He's in charge right now, 2-0. Mendoza struck out 1, walked 1. Got some action. Tim Collins warming up.
Dave Island, the pitching coach, goes out to the mound and have a conversation with Mendoza. Mendoza had been throwing strikes but struggling last couple of hitters. Ackley had walked and now he's behind in the count to Saunders.
Somebody has a sense of humor where they play the music playing Getting to Know You. King and I, when Dave Island goes out to speak with his pitcher. Good count for Saunders. Takes a strike. 2-1, they count, 2 outs. Ryan's at second, Ackley. He's at first, and time is called. The middle, backhanded by Betancourt, and throws out Saunders. Mariners get an RBI single from Brendan Ryan, extend the lead to 3-1.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Northern Quest Casino, Spokane's newest destination resort. By Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. By Ford, we are local. And by Pizza Hut. Say goodbye to boring with a Pizzolo, 2 for $5. Only at your Pizza Hut. Make it great. One last look at the Kings at Jefferson Park. Get your mind spinning, Dave, about all the things you could do in this gorgeous weather.
I would be maybe over in the driving range, as would Mike. I don't see either one of us on this skating. Thank you, Jed. Salvador Perez leads off. But these kids are really good. But you're right, Mike. Elbow guards, helmets. I'd highly recommend them.
I would need a face mask.
You would play your football gear?
Yeah, just put it all on there.
Don't forget to roll when you fall down. Right? Into right field for Peguero. One out here in the 5th. Brings up Jeff Francoeur. Francoeur took a called third strike first time up. Breaking ball from Vargas.
Again, Vargas, the Mariners coming off of a loss, 9-2 this year, and it hasn't been because of the run support. He's pitched well, a 2.91 ERA for him in those outings.
Well said.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch.
There you go. Good numbers. Another good
Big
changeup.
swing and a miss. Francoeur's gone for the second time. That's strikeout number 4 for Vargas. 2 down here in the 5th. Time for Banner Bank building to the future. About Erasmo Ramirez working his way back up to the big club. Down in Tacoma, 3 innings, 2 hits, shutout ball. Didn't walk anybody with 4 Ks. 47 pitches, 34 for strikes. Good percent.
Yeah, that's a great percentage for him. And big news is it sounded like he was healthy and everything went well.
Struck one, Eric Hosmer. He struck out back in the 3rd. Look out.
Heads up.
Two pitch off the fist and off the foot of Hosmer.
Jason able to jam him. Yeah, hit it off his foot or maybe his ankle.
I think ankle.
Yeah. Take another look at it. Yeah, that's right off the top of the ankle.
Ooh.
Home plate umpire Dana Demuth giving him some time.
Bark, and bark.
Yeah.
0-2. Down in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 straight wins for Vargas at Oakland, at Kansas City, at Tampa Bay. Got a road record of 8-4 with a 4.67, 2-3 with a 2.84 here at home, and he strikes out Hosmer for out number 3 here in the 5th. So Jason Vargas throwing another good-looking ball game, trying to make it 4 wins in a row. 3-1 Mariners. Against the Kansas City Royals, which of the following was not a Rule 5 draftee? Mike and I went with Josh Hamilton. The fans, the majority of you went with us. Survey says Joe Carter, because Roberto Clemente went from the Dodgers to the Pirates in what was then called a rookie draft, and then Santana wasn't protected by the Astros, nor was Hamilton protected by the Rays. There's a draft and trade. There you have it, Joe Carter. So you're eligible at 19 and have 4 years of pro ball, or 18 and 5 years of pro ball, and not on the 40-man roster.
which is how the Mariners picked up Lucas Lidke.
Quick 0-2 hole for Wells. Wells, Jaso, and Seager here in the 5th. First inning, a 2-run single by Mike Karp with 2 outs, and then a Ryan 1-out RBI in the 4th for the Mariner. Runs down the line but foul. Nice
play,
pitch.
yes.
Paid attention.
We'll take a look at it. Ball is hit hard down the line. It's a glove down early and picks it clean.
Fly ball left field for Gordon. How many people call him the commissioner out there? It's too easy, right, Commissioner Gordon? John Jaso, first pitch swinging, 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Ground out, second time up. Takes a strike this time.
Decided to take a pitch.
Four-game set with these Kansas City Royals. Blake Bevan, Jeremy Guthrie, recently obtained by Kansas City's former Rocky and Oregon. Out of Oregon, Kevin Millwood, Bruce Chen. That's a ball, and Felix will go on Sunday against Will Smith.
See John's numbers. First pitch swing, we were talking about it earlier in the game, but a .550 average with a couple of home runs.
We're in one.
Mariners, when they were in Kansas City for that 4-game set, they did see Chen and Smith had success against those two struggling pitchers this year. Kyle Seager waiting on deck.
Takes a strike, full count. That's a great at bat by Jason. 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Mendoza. Hey kids, think you're as quick as Dustin Ackley? Will come test your speed following this Sunday's 1:10 start against these Royals, when all the youngsters are invited down on the field to run around the bases thanks to Key Bank. Make sure you join us for this great family event right here at Safeco Field. When you get your tickets at Mariners.com. Always a thrill, not only here but all around baseball. Those Sunday afternoon affairs, and see kids on the field. It's great. Seager laces one left field. Gordon right there, fighting the lights, make the catch. 2 down. Well, that must have gotten right in the lights in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, you could see him last minute starting to give his ground, trying to get as low as he could, pick the baseball up. That'll happen more on the line drives in the big league ballpark. Sometimes they will get in the lights, and this one, it looks like it does as he fights it, trying to get lower. Yeah. I want to bring up the hitting star of the game, Mike Karp. Mike's 2 for 2. Has a couple of RBIs and scored a run.
See if he hits one really hard this time. You gotta believe he's thinking that too. He's happy with the 2 for 2, but he
time
wants
to get greedy.
Yeah.
Time to get greedy.
Nothing wrong with that. Boy.
Jump out there and get one. I think what happens is, we were talking about it earlier, you start gaining confidence because you have a couple of hits, you can relax a little bit more, and the game slows down for you.
Second baseman Betancourt takes care of it. Former Mariner throws out Karp. That'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. 5 in the books, a 3-1 Mariner lead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jen Mueller at the Ford Sports Desk. And, we like to ask players about the first time they ever, got their first base hit, got their first steal. There's one Pittsburgh Pirate who will have a great story to tell. The Pirates looking to stay on top of the wild card race. Starling Marte, his first at-bat, his first pitch that he sees in the major leagues, and that is a home run. He was batting leadoff today for the Pirates. I think he might stay there for a while as the Pirates win 5-3. Dave?
All right, Jen, thank you. What did he have to lose, right, Mike? I mean, first pitch in a big league, swing hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I took the first pitch.
Did you really?
I think I did.
From?
Can't remember.
Pirates in Atlanta side for the wild card. Was that Nava did that? Daniel Nava did that most recently,
right.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Joe Castiglione, our compadre from Radio Boston, told him, come on, it's the first time and only time. Take your shot. He went deep. 1-1 to Betancourt leading off. Here in the top of the sixth, Betancourt, Gordon, and Escobar, 9-1 and 2. Nice play by Ryan. Throws out the former Mariners shortstop. 1 out. So right now, if the wild card, the playoffs started today, Pittsburgh and Atlanta would be in. Pittsburgh's +2, up 2 games on Atlanta. Heck of a race. Hanley Ramirez to the Dodgers. Your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a good move for the Dodgers. I believe he had a couple of hits in his first game with them. And I know that there's been a lot of talk about maybe some attitude issues with him from time to time. But I think in the situation that he's in with the Dodgers, where they're at, I think he'll play hard this year. What happens after this year, who knows? But I think it's a good pickup for the Dodgers. He's a great player, a talented player.
No doubt. Big kid, can play short, can play third.
77 pitches for Jason.
2-0 to Gordon. Inside outside corner. Gordon, a soft line drive to Ackley and a ground out to Carter.
Do you like it?
I think it's a heck of a move.
Yeah.
The Dodgers need a pop too. They needed some offense.
Still looking for a pitcher, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I think it seems from what you're reading here, today's the 26th, 5 days from now is the trading deadline. I think the last 2-3 days are going to be interesting.
Looks like they've been pushing hard to try to get Ryan Dempster from the Cubs.
It's 5-10 though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he could.
It sounded like, because it sounded like Atlanta had something worked out with Chicago, and I don't think he had to veto it, but I think he decided he wanted to wait to see if there was something that could happen with the Dodgers.
3-2 to Gordon. 1 out, nobody on. Kansas City's run on a Billy Butler 4th inning double. And Vargas walks Gordon. That's his second walk this evening. 1 out, 1 on. Make sure you follow the Mariners with the MLB.com at Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. You get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Mariners.com for details. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, will stand in now. He's 0 for 2. Three runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mariners. A run on 1 hit for Kansas City.
Yeah, you mentioned the second walk. The first walk was to Lorenzo Cain, who's on deck. Now Cain with 2 outs, and then Billy Butler hit a line drive into the gap to drive him in for the 1 run for the Royals. Royals 9th in stolen bases.
Bunt and a good one. He's going to let it go. Just goes foul.
Good play. Kyle was playing a little bit deeper. I don't think he would have had a play on Escobar, who runs well. So Kyle decided to let the ball roll. You can See him right there. Let it go, hit the cut of the grass, and watch it roll foul. I like the fact that he ran after it, too. Wasn't going to take any chance because the minute it goes foul, he wants to be able to touch it and not give it a chance to bounce back, which we've seen.
With that squib, couple
gosh.
homestands
Yeah,
this year.
remember it.
That? It went foul and it came back in. Counts 1-1, Escobar. You mentioned Kansas City. It stands to remind you of Alfonso Soriano. Coach left fielder. Similar
Wears the
builds.
pants up high like Soriano does.
Ball and 2 strikes. Vargas in the midst of the best run for him this season. 3-0 with a 1.55 ERA. Tough go in May. 1-3 with a 7.34.
That was just a tough stretch for the Mariners because Felix was struggling at that time too.
Center field, Saunders. Right there. 2 outs. And bring up Lorenzo Cain. 2 outs and Gordon at first.
Cain 0 for 1. Struck out swinging to end the first inning, but then he walked in the fourth and scored on a double by Butler. Watching him score from first, he looked like he was running a lot better than he was when we were in Kansas City when he first came off the DL.
Going back to what we talked about earlier. They're not up there sightseeing.
That was an aggressive hack, too. He had a fastball middle away. Let it rip.
Good size for Cain. He's 6'2", 205. Valdosta, Georgia. 273 in 6 games for the Royals last year. With Milwaukee for 43 games in 2010. After bouncing around the minor leagues for 5 years.
And we were in Kansas City talking to some people over there. They were saying that coming into spring training, he had to battle for the job and won it, just took it. Was aggressive and played really well. Then he ended up getting hurt. Unfortunate.
I'd say it's not going out on a limb to say that these guys would be very interested in obtaining some pitching help for next year because they got some pieces. I don't know if they have in their AAA, but if they have a whole bunch more hitters coming up, they can make some moves here. It's an impressive group in terms of swinging the bat. Vargas having a very good night against them, though, holding them to 1 run on 1 hit. That was hitting coach Kevin Seitzer. That one out of play.
These 2 pitches that were on the outside corner. Jason wasted a cutter up and in to move him off the plate.
Ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Chapper. Played by Seager. Quick release, and he just got him. Wow, nice play. Good hustle by Cain. Fine play. A better play by Kyle Seager. 3-1 Mariners. you're with us here at Safeco Field. And make sure you check out the all-new Root Sports Game Connect, an interactive second screen experience. Brings fans closer to the game with live stats, trends, and analysis. Root Sports Game Connect. Connect now at rootsports.com. Bottom third of the order for the Mariners: Olivo, Piguero, and Ryan. Luis Mendoza giving up 3 runs on 7 hits. He's walked 2, struck out 1.
Olivo 1 for 2. Was picked off at second base. Great throw by the pitcher Mendoza.
Can't draw it up any better. He threw it right to where the hand was going to be. Talk to the hand. No, the glove won. Okay. Yeah. It was caught by Escobar. Perfect throw to get Olivo diving back in. 2-1. That will get down for Miguel Olivo. He's going to get a double as Gordon gets it back in. Miguel Olivo 2 for 3 tonight. That's his 7th double. And a good start to the Mariners' 6th inning.
Olivo gets a fastball in a 2-1 count. It looks like it jams him a little bit, but he's so strong he's able to hit it into the gap. End up with a double as you take a look at our McDonald's Supermo in the swing of Olivo. Yep, he hits that off the label. Still was able to drive it out there just short of the warning track.
Some serious strength to hit it where he hit it.
Now they need Carlos Piguero to pull the ball if he can. Piguero's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly out to left field.
Strike 1 to Carlos. Eight hits for the Mariners tonight. 2 runs in a first and a carp. 2-run single and an RBI by Ryan in the 4th.
Harris getting loose for the Royals. The Mariners were able to see him in Kansas City.
Piguero's got a 1-1 count. Checking down with Jeff Datz at third. Olivo takes his lead. 1-2 coming up here to Piguero.
I probably won't ever see it.
Casper Wells at the rail on the first base dugout side.
Mendoza staying with that slider down and in to Piguero. If he misses with his location, it should be an easy pitch for Piguero to pull.
Nobody out, trying to get Olivo in or at minimum to third. The pitch. That is a fair ball. That'll get him in. Not interfered with. Francoeur with the throw. An RBI double for Carlos Piguero. 4-1 Mariners. What a young man comes through. He looked bad on a couple of pitches. Comes back on a 1-2 pitch from Mendoza and hit it hard.
And it's the slider again. It's an easy pitch to pull, and that's what Carlos does. He gets the barrel to it this time. He hits it right over the bag at first. It'll be a double. First double for Piguero this year. Drives in a run.
See if Ryan can pick up another RBI. A couple of doubles to get the Mariners going in the 6th inning.
Wouldn't be surprised if Brennan drops down a bunt. Move Piguero up to third.
Right now, Moustakas even with the bag. If we were to push it to second base, he might be good too, although Hosmer's charging. There's the bunt. He got it down, but foul.
Yeah, he didn't have any choice. He had to bunt it to third. You want the third baseman to come in and field it so that Piguero can get down to third without a play.
1 pitch.
Nah. We'll see if Eric Wedge wants to keep it on and have him bunt with 2 strikes.
I think he's going to.
I'm not opposed to it. The difference, of course, is if he fouls off another pitch, he will be out. It will be a strikeout. Brennan playing with the Cardinals, even here with Seattle, he's had to sacrifice. It shouldn't be a problem.
He's got 4 sacrifices on the season.
Stock is the third baseman for the Royals. Doesn't think he's going to. He's moved back.
Sean Figgins has 6 sacrifices. Ryan with 4. Top 2 in the ball club. Stock is way back. Gets away.
We'll get some help.
So the wild pitch gets Peguero to third. 1-2 to Ryan.
Off the shin guard of Perez. Brendan Ryan waving him over. That helps. It's a good 2-strike hitting now from Brendan Ryan. The Royals will bring their infield up.
Shortstop Escobar backs up for a second, but nobody's in close. 1-2. Just worked by Perez. Block it. 2-2.
Maybe it for Mendoza. He's had Maharis up in the bullpen for the Royals with a couple of left-handers coming up in Ackley and Saunders.
2-2 to Ryan. Peguero at third. He's aiming.
He's just stayed with the slider. He doesn't want to throw his fastball. There's Dustin waiting on deck. Dustin is 2 for 2. Had a base hit and scored a run in the first, a double in the second, and then walked in the fourth.
First 2 at bats. Actually hitting the ball very hard. Coming up with some positive results. Payoff here to Ryan. Check his swing. He did. Check down the first. Doug Eddings. Ryan's aboard. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. And here comes Ned Yost, skipper for the Kansas City Royals.
I think he held up.
That's how the perfect game ended. Ryan thought he had done that exact same check swing and didn't get the call from Brian Runge against Philip Umber back in April. New pitcher coming on. Maharis, 4-1 Mariners.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Sterling Bank, life is about the good stuff your bank should be too. Visit our new website at bankwithsterling.com. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. It was a leisurely day in Seattle, but we wanted to show you all of it, so we sped it up. As you see the Ferris wheel downtown. Dave, I know that you didn't like the skate park, but how do you feel about heights on the top of the Ferris wheel?
I don't mind the airplane, 35 thou with the professional there, and I know there are professionals on the Ferris wheel. Been there, done that, though. Look out. Check swing, act. That's a good-looking sight, though. You go up the viaduct, and a couple Sundays. Last time we were home, went for a walk by there. It looked like Disneyland. That's how long the line was to get on that thing.
Really?
Yeah. Another new site attraction here in Seattle. Opportunity for Ackley. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. He stung the ball hard twice tonight and walked. Two for two night with a run scored for Ackley.
Harris has pitched well for the Royals. You can see why Ned Yost went to him, even though Mendoza just 80 pitches in the game. But a 1.72 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opponents average 2.43.
Off the plate, 1-2. Kansas City's lost 7 of 10, coming off losing 2 of 3 at the Angels. Mariners have just lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees, coming off a 5-2 road trip. Kansas City and Tampa Bay. The 1-2. Struck him out. Ackley is gone here in the 6th, 1 out. And a run in. See what Michael Saunders can do. Fastball for strike.
Well located fastball, outside corner and down.
It's one the hitting coaches always say, hey, you're not going to hit that one anyway.
Let it go.
Breaking ball hit for. Another opportunity to score here for the Mariners. They have 1 run in. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Throw down the 3rd. Safely is Figueroa.
Didn't look like Perez really wanted to throw that ball down there. Maybe he could see that Figueroa wasn't that far off. Typically a third baseman will put a sign on that pickoff. Left-hander up, so he's playing well off the bag. Try that, he would have to cheat over, but Perez did throw it down there with much conviction.
1-2. Cleveland beat Verlander tonight 5-3. Tigers losing the ball game. The 1-2 pitch here to Saunders. Foul territory. Gordon, no play.
That would have been interesting. I think if he catches that, he'll go ahead and send Figueroa. Mendoza watching, hoping that Maharas can get him out of the trouble that he put himself into.
Mariners have 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error. Jason Vargas has held the Royals to run on 1 hit. Vargas has struck out 5, walked 2. He's getting plenty of rest here in the home 6th. Got him on a sweeping breaking ball. Harris is coming in. Cade the first 2 men that he's faced. 2 down. Here in the 6th. And this Saturday, don't forget Mariner legends Randy Johnson and Dan Wilson. They're going to be inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame. To commemorate the occasion, we're giving away a dual bobblehead of the 2 battery mates to the first 20,000 fans thanks to Root Sports. Get here early, get your collectible, and then join us for the special pregame induction ceremony at 12:30. Tickets to Mariners Hall of Fame Day. Visit Mariners.com. A good looking bobblehead. Pretty decent likeness of the 2 fellas. Well, a lot of people are saying, when was the last time Randy Johnson was that happy? Betancourt throws out Wells. That'll do it. Mariners do get a run in the 6th. They chase the starter Mendoza, and they have a 4-1 lead. Jason Vargas has been outstanding tonight. He retired the first 11 men that he faced before giving up a walk to Lorenzo Cain in the 4th. And then that was followed by a Billy Butler double. That's the only offense tonight by the Kansas City Royals. Vargas has been outstanding with 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Jason Vargas trying to win his 4th consecutive ball game.
Yeah, Jason now at 90 pitches. 90 pitches, 54 strikes for Jason. The pitch count's starting to get up there on him. Probably his last inning.
Mariners bullpen, as everybody knows, has been very good. Here's the aforementioned Billy Butler. Butler, Moustakas, and Salvador Perez. 4, 5, and 6 for KC. And 1-1 pitch to Butler. In tight.
Nothing wrong with that. Move him off the plate a little bit. Looked like he was leaning over. Trying to look out there for a changeup. Throws a cutter up and in.
Butler swung the bat well against the Mariners. A .309 career batting average.
About right. 65% fastballs for Jason.
Outside. Butler's aboard. 3rd walk issued by Vargas. Game 2 of this series tomorrow. We'll have Jeremy Guthrie, who's out of the great state of Oregon, taking on Blake Bevan. Roseburg, Oregon, same hometown as Jamie Burke, former Mariner catcher. Bevan, Jeremy Guthrie tomorrow evening. Hope you're with us.
With that walk, it looks like Brandon League will get loose out in the Mariners' pen.
Stock is 0 for 2. Brandon getting ready.
Walking Butler, he jumps out in front of Moustakas. No 2 count.
Infield a double play depth. 0-2. Missed outside. Stockus won the 2010 George Brett Award, Kansas City's top hitter in the minor leagues. Ackley, it's a front end, and they get nothing on the back end. So fielder's choice. Butler retired. 4-6.
Next pitch for Jason will be 100 for the game. Look at the young players for the Royals. I like Perez. Out of all of them, the best. Good looking catcher. Can hit for some power. Came into the game today. Hitting .330 with 5 home runs, and in limited time he'd been on the DL.
Lines one to center. Caught by Saunders, 2 outs.
Bring up Frank Coor. He's been able to handle him. Punched him out looking in the 3rd, and then a strikeout swinging in the 5th.
Swing and a miss is really in Frank Coor's head. Marcus against Kansas City here at Safeco, 2-0, 1.50 ERA.
And Frank Coor guessing on a first pitch fastball, and Jason threw him the changeup.
With 2 outs here in the 7th. Inside very effectively. 1 and 2.
That's what set up his changeup, and good location to it, just off the inside corner. He hasn't made any mistakes on the inner half of the plate.
All in 2 strikes to Frank Coor. Puts it up there 2 and 2. Mariners 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. RBIs tonight, 2 for Carp, 1 for Peguero, 1 for Ryan. The Royals have 1 run on 1 hit. Dating myself, referencing as soon as I hear Kansas City thinking the A's. That is bouncing ball to Ryan. And another fine inning by Jason Vargas. He allows a base runner. That's it. John Jaso will lead it off when we come back from home center, followed by Kyle Seager. Mike Carp looking to add to his RBI total. Inning stretch being brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Some of the sights around Safeco Field. We open up a 4-game set with the Kansas City Royals. Toronto Blue Jays to follow for 3. A big homestand for the Mariners. And the new pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, little Tim Collins. John Jaso will be his first hitter.
Jaso tonight 0 for 2. Had a walk back in the 5th inning. Numbers for Collins: 3.59 ERA, 64 strikeouts in 47 2/3. It's pitched well.
5'7", and he can rush it up there. Bender missed. Amazing how much power this little guy can generate.
He's right over the top too. He's throwing 93, 94 miles an hour.
2-1. Nice ball for strike. Collins 5'7", $166 for Worcester, Mass. Through the hole, base hit. John Jaso. Check in with Jim Mueller.
All right, guys, as we take a look at the AL East leading, Washington Nationals here at the Ford Sports Desk tonight. Washington and Milwaukee getting after it. Adam LaRoche puts the Nationals on the board in the 2nd inning. He blasts a home run. That is his 3rd home run in the last 3 days. LaRoche fueling the Nats' 6-game winning streak. Washington wins 8-2 tonight over Milwaukee, guys.
Some ball club Davey Johnson has in our nation's capital. 5-game lead over the Atlanta Braves. And Mets in a free fall. Miami never figured it out. Philly never got going because of injury. Polanco I think he went on the DL today with a bad back.
And meanwhile, it looks like the Nationals starting to get healthy. Mike Morris is back. He's hit a few home runs.
Yes, he has. Back. Oh, my goodness. Woo. You seen him?
Yeah.
Did commit, says Lance Barrett. 0-2.
Looks like a slider that is down and away from Kyle. Couldn't hold up.
Seager hit by a pitch. Popped to short. Fly to left. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Seager's gone, 1 out.
After getting ahead of him with a fastball, he comes back with 2 breaking balls. We'll bring up Mike Karp. Karp having a good game, 2 for 3. Scored a run, has a couple of RBIs in the game. His last time up, he grounded out to 2nd.
Nice work in the 1st inning with 2 outs and the bases loaded with a base hit. Also 1 up the middle. Scored 2 runs. Starting left fielder to begin the season over in Japan. Crashed into a wall. That took him out of action for a while and wound up having to get himself back together down at AAA Tacoma. Back up the middle, a throwing duck special. And Collins ducking, getting out of the way of that line drive. 3-hit night for Karp.
This one was hit hard. It was a breaking ball. He was able to stay in there and hit this ball back up the middle. Second base hit up the middle tonight. You can see him get his foot down. A bit of a hesitation because he's able to keep his hands back. And it's a line drive back up the middle. bring Olivo up. Olivo having a good night. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a run scored.
Those 2 hits have got him over the Mendoza line. He's at 205 now. One out, 2 on.
First changeup from Collins.
Collins with Kansas City last year in 68 games. 4-4 record, a 3.63 ERA. 60 strikeouts, 48 walks a year ago. That base hit by Karp was hit number 11 for the Mariners. 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Jason Vargas threw 7's allowed a run on 1 hit. Billy Butler 2 out, double to left center on a 3-0 pitch after walking Kane. A good breaking ball from Collins. Came over from the Braves at the trading deadline 2 years ago. Originally signed by the Blue Jays in 07 to the Braves in 2010, and later on that year moved over to Kansas City.
Finally had a breaking ball that he could handle. That pitch was left up in the zone. The inside corner, maybe just a bit off of the plate in, pulling it foul. Other 2 off-speed pitches down in the dirt.
Been a good night for the guys at the bottom of the order for the Mariners. Hitters 6 through 9 started the night all on the interstate. Hitting less than 200. Well, they've combined to go 7 for 12. 2 runs scored, a couple of doubles, and have driven in 4. 1-2 off the fist to the second baseman Betancourt. They get that, and that's all they'll get. Retire Karp, drop number 2. Make this Monday night a night out at Safeco Field for the entire family. BECU Family Night. Mariners will be taking on the Blue Jays. 7:10 start time. Score select view level seats for the whole gang for only $10. Pick up your tickets at any Mariners team store or mariners.com/specials.
I'll bring up Carlos Peguero. Peguero with a double his last time up, drove in a run, hit the ball hard right down the right field line.
Chance to blow it open here. That's some visual, because you look at Peguero, it looks like he's twice as big as Collins.
I would agree. Tell you what, with his swing path, that breaking ball that Collins just threw him, if he can stay in there and get that same pitch up in the zone like that, he may hit it a long way.
He's on the mound, but he's still looking up at Peguero.
Right there.
There it is. High drive. It's hooking. Foul.
Oh, he had it. Perfect pitch to hit. Slow breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Hit it off the end of the bat just a hair to hook it foul. If he could have waited just a tick longer, this ball would have been launched.
Good call.
I don't think you'll see that pitch
No. 1-2. The Mariners have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a couple of men on. Two pitch.
After that foul ball, 2 fastballs, trying to throw 2 fastballs on the outside corner and missed with them. Olivo will take off from first on the pitch.
Jaso's at third. Olivo's at first. Something's got to give here at 3-2 to Peguero. He gets time. Used to say the old, when I was a newspaper guy, wheels are turning. I was an old football guy. Used to say action in the North Atlantic. 3-2. Pitch to Peguero. Struck him out. Pretty good heater by Collins and well placed. There's strand 2. To the 8th inning we go. A 4-1 at Seattle lead. Eighth inning action here at Safeco Field. Good night for Jason Vargas out here for the 8th inning. And here's what he's done thus far, Mike. Really good work.
Really good work. 7 innings so far, giving up just 1 hit. That was a double to Billy Butler after walking Kane. One of the 3 walks for Vargas. He came around to score the 1 run for the Royals.
Ground ball to Ackley off the bat of Eric Hosmer. 1 out. Hosmer to be followed by Betancourt and Gordon. 8, 9, and 1 here in the 8th inning.
Good performance by Vargas. Think about the Royals, and maybe this is what he should be doing. But for those of you that don't know, number 3 hitting club in the American League. He's held him to 1 base hit.
Tell you what.
That was on a 3-0 count for Butler.
Yeah. And Billy jumped all over it.
Yes, he did.
Doubling to deep left center field.
Next pitch will be 110 for Jason Brandon League, ready to go. He was throwing last inning, so just pacing himself out in the bullpen.
Talking elite company. Talking about Kansas City and hitting. Texas #1 in batting average. Angels 2nd. Kansas City 3rd. Three and 1 to Betancourt. Seager gets a nice hop. Good solid down there. And 2 outs.
Yes, he has.
Done a good job at second base a few times he's played there this year when they've given Ackley a blow or moving Ackley over to first base.
He just doesn't make mistakes where it looks like sometimes you see infielders, they'll make an error because they lack concentration. But Kyle, we haven't seen that from him this year, and he's extremely accurate with his throws.
Played 10 games at second. It's his 80th game at third. A lot of offers. It's the kind of work Vargas has turned in tonight. Five through 9 hitters are 0 for 15. 5 through 9 hitters not produced a base run. Chopper. Foot race. Vargas wins it. Another efficient inning by Jason Vargas. Really, really outstanding performance here. 1 run on 1 hit, holding the Kansas City Royals tonight here at Safeco Field. Coors Light Freeze Can. Good to have you here on Root Sports. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, Root Sports crew. Safeco Field, the scene. 15,014 on hand here. Jason Vargas has thrown a beauty. Got a 1 run on 1 hit for Kansas City. New pitcher for the Royals is Aaron Crow, right-hander. We saw him a couple of times in Kansas City last week.
He's pitched well for Kansas City. ERA to 3.86. Brendan Ryan 1 for 2 in the game. Had a base hit. Also drove in a run with that base hit. That was back in the 4th inning. Rest of the numbers for Crow: 40 strikeouts in 42 innings, 14 walks for him.
(2-0) to Ryan. Ryan 0 for 1 against Aaron Crow.
Should get a fastball to hit right here. And he did, but he missed with it.
3-0. Crows out of Topeka, Kansas. Dustin Ackley on deck. Here's a strike. Crow, a first-round pick, 12th overall in the 2009 June free agent draft. It's that outside corner again, full count.
They're missing with the first 3 pitches. He puts 2 right on the outside corner. Perfect pitch, his last one at 94 miles an hour.
Right down Escobar. Throws out the Mariners shortstop, 1 out.
We'll see if Dustin Ackley can add to his night. He's 2 for 3. He's walked, scored a run, had a double back in the second inning as Tom Wilhelmsen gets loose out in the pen.
Top of the order, Ackley. Ball off the plate. Did not go since Lance Barrett.
Watching Tom get loose. I'm not sure that dominant really describes how he has pitched lately. He has made some really good hitters look bad.
Now with the changeup to go with the 97, 98 mile an hour fastball, the best, maybe the best 12-6 curveball we've seen this year in the American League.
There's no doubt about it for me. I think it definitely is. When you see the amount of guys that he buckles, right-handed hitters that he buckles, he's buckled a few left-handers with that curveball. And now he has the changeup that he uses against the lefties.
2-1. Runs away from left-handers. Good count here for Ackley, 3-1. And he walks him. Take a look at our Land Rover defensive play of the game. How about this one right here? Moustakas, a nice diving play by Karp. Vargas picks him up. Good work. Karp dives to the line. Back in the second inning. Vargas started the game retiring the first 11 men that he faced. Karp's had a lot of action down at first base tonight. Here's Michael Saunders. Bettencourt boots it. Routine play. Boots it. E4.
That looked like a double play ball for sure. So a break for the Mariners. Wow. Ball is hit firm right to Bettencourt. He just picks his glove up. Ball goes right underneath it. It looked like he was starting his spin. The spin to throw it to second on the double play ball. But if he gets in front of that, that's a double play, even with Saunders' speed. 6th error of the year for Bettencourt.
Tailor-made. Door opener for the Mariners brings up Casper Wells, 2-on. Down low from Crow. Wells tonight, infield hit. Ground out the third, fly out the left, and a ground out the second. Yes, he did. Dana Thune. 4 runs, 11 hits for the Mariners. A run on 1 hit and an error for Kansas City.
So far, it's just been solid outing all the way around for the Mariners. Some good defense, great pitching from Vargas.
Good speed out there with Ackley and Saunders. 2-1.
The box score.
Look at the bottom half.
Yeah, he's done the work tonight.
Wells battling Aaron Crow. Big 12 pitcher of the year, University of Michigan back in Missouri back in 08. That gets by the catcher, Perez, and the runners will move up. 3-1 the count to Wells. Pass ball.
Looks like it's another slider down and away. Instead of trying to block it, he goes for gloving and a backhanded. Gets away from him. That'll be a wild pitch.
Yep. Wild pitch indeed it is.
It's in the dirt.
Official score just made the change. Aaron Pador. 3-1 the count. Bouncing ball, contact play, throw it home. Ackley's in a rundown. Saunders is already at third. Going to second. He's out.
Oh boy.
Wells tried to get on the backhand. To the ninth we go. Time for the bartender. The last call. Here at Safeco Field. 4-1 Mariners. Tom Wilhelmsen taking over.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Back here at Safeco Field, 4-1 lead for the Mariners, and I like Tom Wilhelmsen's new entry music. Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Jason Vargas, outstanding performance tonight.
He really did. It was 8 innings, just 1 hit. It was a double into the gap. 3-0 pitch off the bat of Billy Butler to drive in the 1 run. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 115 pitches for Vargas as we take a look at our Nissan shift to the bullpen. Brings us Tom Wilhelmsen. Tom looking for his 12th save of the year. Rest of the numbers for Tom. A 2.31 ERA. 60 strikeouts, just 15 walks.
On the countdown, City's Escobar, the shortstop for Kansas City. 2-3-4 coming up. Escobar, Kane, and Butler. Is that Bender fouled off? One-two pitch. Line drive, right field, backing up Peguero. 1 out. Here's Kane. Scored the only Kansas City run today. Fastball, first strike. First walk, that was back in the fourth. That ended a run of 11 consecutive hitters right out of the gate by Vargas. And he scored on the Billy Butler double swing.
Tom is throwing hard, and that first strike that he threw to King was at 99 miles an hour.
0-2. Have some. 2 outs. King blown away by that one. As Wilhelmsen fires just a nasty pitch. 2 outs.
I'll say 97 miles an hour right at the knees.
What a story he has become. Billy Butler, power on power here. Nice to watch these guys grow up in front of you. Remember early last year?
His struggles.
Yeah.
Ended up getting sent down. I believe, if I remember, he went to Double-A, didn't he?
I believe so. He started.
Yeah.
Down low again. Two balls, 1 strike to Billy Butler. 2 outs, nobody on. Gapper, right center field. Butler hit it hard. He'll get the second. An easy double. Billy Butler with both hits for Kansas City. A double to left center, a double to right center.
And the one thing we know about Billy Butler is he can hit a fastball, and he can hit anybody's fastball. That fastball at 97 miles an hour, and he drives it into the gap out in right center field. Perfect position.
Good looking swing.
Yeah.
Just the second Kansas City hit, both by Billy Butler. He drove in a run back in the fourth. There's Mike Moustakas. One. Ready in on the black. That's not easy to hit.
No, it's not. And then he comes back with a changeup. If he throws pitches on the outside part of the plate and it's on the corner like that first pitch where it just gets a piece of the corner, it's tough.
1-1 to Moustakas. It's a 2-1. Back, so now Wilhelmsen strike away. 2-2 to Moustakas, who's 0 for 3 tonight. 15,014 on hand here at Safeco Field. They rising to their feet. The pitch 2-2. Struck him out. That'll do it. Mariners win it 4-1. Closing time here at Safeco Field. The win for Jason Vargas. He goes to 11-7. And how about this? In his last 4 starts, he's taken his ERA down to 1.55 as he wins for the 10th time after a loss by the Mariners.
Yeah, he's really been the stopper for the Mariners this year as far as getting them back on the winning track. Tom Wilhelmsen, his 12th save of the year. And how about the bottom of the lineup? Coming into the game, all these guys had been struggling. They drive in all 4 runs. Karp with 2 RBIs. Figueroa drives in a run. Brendan Ryan drives in a run. A good evening for the Mariners offensively and get things turned around here at home with a win.
Impressive to hold the number 3 hitting team in the American League to a run on 2 hits. Billy Butler, 2 doubles and an RBI. The only offensive output tonight by Kansas City. Good work by Vargas and Wilhelmsen. And you're right. When you talk about the bottom of the order, talk about buoying some confidence in some young people.
Now it's good to see some guys get some base hits, but Mike Karp gets a base hit here in the first inning, driving in a couple of runs for the Mariners. 2 outs, and there's another base hit. How about this one? Solid line drive back up the middle. 3 hits for Karp, including 2 RBIs, swinging the bat well. So hopefully he's adjusted, coming back up from Tacoma after Smoke was sent down, but a good evening for Mike Karp.
Wilhelmsen picks up the save. He's 12 out of 14. Vargas the win. He's 11-7. He's now 3-0 career against Kansas City here at Safeco Field, and for his overall career, 4-1. Standing by with Mike Karp, here's Jen Mueller.
Mike accounts for a couple of the Mariners' hits tonight. He's on base. And Mike, what was the difference tonight versus, say, the last couple of nights where you guys were getting on with walks instead of hits?
It's just getting a good pitch to hit and not try to do too much with it. We got our base hits tonight, and we scored some runs, and we came out with the ball game there.
Is it more of a momentum thing or being selective when you're at the plate?
Just try to do too much. We've had some opportunities, and we always seem to not capitalize on them. And tonight, just take our base hits and go with it, and then we won a ball game.
I would say that you helped set the tone early with that diving stop, the ball coming right over first base. How does your shoulder feel? Because you had to lay out for that one.
No, it feels good to lay out and have a good play and get that past me, and now here we go.
Jason goes deep into the game. What kind of confidence level? How do you feel when Tom Wilhelmsen takes the mound in the ninth?
It's amazing. Vargo came out tonight, and he really dealt. And, he kept us in the game the whole time. Got ahead and got outs, and then Tom comes in, always closes the door. Pretty nasty. I think he hit 1-on-1 tonight. Pretty dirty.
Yeah, when you're watching Tom deliver it, what's the thought that's going through your head as a guy who likes to hit those guys?
I'm just glad I'm not facing him. I'm glad he's on our team because that's dirty.
It is indeed. Go inside and enjoy this one with your team. There you go, Mike. So there you go. The Mariners pound out the hits. They get the runs. And, Brad, it sounds like a similar formula that we saw perhaps last week in Kansas City.
That's right. They took 3 or 4 in KC. And for your fans out there not quite sure what Mike Karp's talking about, Val, help him out. Dirty.
Dirty means nasty, means filthy.
Yep.
Don't use soap. It's good.
The offense
what it is. It's good.
Yeah, offense good tonight. 11 hits. They string together some hits. 11. They had 12 in the entire Yankees series. So 11 hits tonight, swinging the bats a whole lot better tonight, Val.
Well, that's exactly what we were hoping they were going to do with Kansas City coming in. We talked about them really having a subpar starting rotation. This is a team that's playing under 500 baseball, and it was a great opportunity for the Mariners offense to get going again, and so far, so good.
That's right. They take game 1 of the set by a score of 4-1. Vargas, fantastic. 1 hit through 8 innings. And Wilhelmsen closes it out. Much more to get to. Post-game show, all smiles here on Root Sports.